Every picture tells a story. It might be the story of the unconditional love given freely by a loyal companion, or a colorfully painted nostalgic memory, though a large part of it being imaginary. Or perhaps an art story that's never been told. So what will our art story be about today? To begin our Story to Art challenge, we'll open up our mystery word prompt envelope, which will be the inspiration used to create our artwork. So here we have our person is juniper, our location is cliffside, our object is a teacup, the color is saffron. Start with black and white collage, glaze with saffron, add details with any color, paint or pens. So I'll gather up some materials and be back in a minute. Now I'm starting the clock at 60 minutes, 1 hour. I'm going to do a quick little sketch here. I've gathered up the black and white collage papers. I already have some torn up here. And yeah, so this is the start. Since it's a cliffside, I'm building a cliff, I think. On the right-hand side, I think it's going to be some water. Some kind of an ocean cliff scene. So start with the glue. This is a Liquitex clear matte medium gel, and I've got a spray bottle here. I usually wet the paper first. This is a piece of heavyweight mixed media paper that I've gessoed, put a heavy coat of gesso on, and it holds up really well with the collage. So I use a lot of the matte gel here, and top on the bottom and top of the paper, and not to worry, this gel dries perfectly clear, and so there's no problem with that. So just put it on thickly, because you want to make sure your collage sticks really well, becomes a part of the paper, so it's bonded. I originally created these papers on a gel plate, and then I made copies of them with an inkjet printer, just in black though, because the black ink in my printer is a pigment, so it is essentially archival. So, okay, I'm going to stop the clock here and let this dry. So after the background dried, I made a glaze with my Liquitex matte medium mixed with water, and then I used these 3 different colors, mostly the yellow. It's a cadmium yellow, a cadmium red, just a touch of cadmium red, and a yellow oxide. And it took me a couple minutes, so I reset the clock, and I've got 50 minutes left to go. All right, so what's next? I have a bunch of leftover paints, which I store in these paint boxes, which keeps the paint wet. It lasts pretty well for about a week. It will get moldy if you hold on to it too long. So I tried to use up my leftover paint either for another project, or I use it to make some jelly prints, which I have so many of, but that's what I use. I'm a collage artist, so I appreciate having all those different collage colors. So I'm bringing in some sky here, and yeah, the background, and toning down those mountains, because the background always fades. So you want to fade out your background, because that gives it the depth and perspective. So I'm adding some blue, and then I'm tracing around these rocks in the cliffside. So anyway, this is relaxing, not thinking. And I'm going to grab one of these pastels. These are a water-soluble pastel, and you can activate them with water, or I mix the water with the gel medium, which makes them a permanent pigment. So anyway, lightening up the hills in the distance, adding a little more blue to the sky. So the thing about acrylic paints is that many of them have some transparency to them, especially, well, I use the Liquitex Basics, which, they don't have quite as much pigment, so layering them is the way to go with acrylics anyway, because it gives the painting some depth and interest. As you can see, that's what I am doing here. I've got many layers going on. Now I'm activating those pencils and the pastels. So working a little on the foreground here, bring a little pastel green into the foreground, maybe a little grassy knoll, I'm not sure. Maybe try a little, I don't know, tree branches on the side of the cliff. This is going to work out or not. You can always, thing is with all of these, you can add water and take a cloth and wipe it down. It's okay, the more layers the better, I think, with these acrylic paints. So yeah, I'm going to put some more layer in the ocean. Usually, yeah, the ocean is a darker, the landscape is lighter, but the ocean is in the distance is darker. So my ocean in the front here will be a little lighter. So I just keep on going. I'm not sure where I'm going, but I like the cliffside, and I like the composition of this with the water on the there on the right. Anyway. Just keep going, keep layering. Adding a little detail to the cliffside and the foreground. Some more layering. The water. Okay. Now, a little more softening in the distance, and then, here I'm going with the teacup in the front. I'm not sure about this placement. Well, let's see what happens here. Okay, decided to get rid of that. So this white paint will lighten up the foreground a bit, which is nice. I like that. So, my teacup again. I think this might be a better placement. I'm not really sure. Okay, trace it on there and see what happens. All right, maybe I'll bring in a little bit of this coral color teacup. I'm not sure where this is going. All right, add a little darker color maybe. It's still very transparent. I want it to be more solid, I think. So I'm gonna have to maybe let this dry and think about it. Maybe I'll make some etch into it a bit. See if that improves things. I don't think so. Stopping the clock to let it dry. Okay, I had a totally strange idea here, but I don't know. What about a leopard print teacup? I mean, I thought, oh, that's ridiculous. But then I thought, why not? I'm just gonna go for it. This is an art challenge. I've never heard of a leopard skin print teacup, but hey, it's first time. And I'm thinking my juniper person might be a little bit wild, so somebody that would, have a leopard skin teacup. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm committing here. I'm gluing it down. Leopard skin print teacup. All right, get the handle on there. Okay, so I'm adding a little golden brown color, watercolor pencil, which I'll activate with the matte medium just to give the teacup a little color. Okay, now I'm thinking this needs a little contrast. The teacup's getting lost. It's a little too busy in there. Well, the leopard skin's busy in itself, so I'll add a little lightness to the knoll here where the sun is shining. All right. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see what I've got. I think maybe I need a little bit of detail on this teacup. Maybe a little dark line, a little rim, bottom there. Okay. Maybe something a little more pronounced. I don't know. Yeah. It's good to keep your hand moving. I think it's like stream of consciousness writing. You know, you just keep your hand moving. Even when you don't know where you're going, you just, you can just add a color, or what I'm doing here with the pastels. Just, keep on keeping on. Yeah, you can see the layering in the water and how it's developing. So back to the teacup, I thought maybe it should have a little darker line on the top so it really stands out. And I'll add this black pastel, and yeah, maybe a little green in the front. Give it more depth and texture. Okay, now where am I going from here? Oh, I think I might draw a face on that leopard skin teacup. Maybe Juniper's face. So you can see here by the clock that I've spent about 9 minutes drawing faces, and this is the third one I've come up with. I wanted it to be, a certain style, abstracted, I guess. So I'm gonna glue this on the front of the teacup, and let's see what else I've got going on here. Oh, I tore up some piece of black and white print. This is a cactus from my garden, and I'm going to use that for Juniper's hair. She's got some wild hair going on here. Yeah. Okay, touching up a bit of the ocean out there, and adding some more red. Not sure. I think that needs to be different than what it is. Oh, I'll tear up some more cactuses and or cacti, however you want to say it. So continuing on with Juniper's hair, and right. Oh, I did do a little damage to my teacup here, so I'm going to glue on a little more leopard skin to put a patch on it. You can do that with acrylic and collage. It's very forgiving. If you don't like it, you can layer over it or paint it out and use the background for texture. Here's some more purpley red hair, probably henna red, dark henna red hair. So I'm about to wrap it up here, and then I will reveal the final to you in just a minute. So here we have it, Juniper's leopard skin teacup, for lack of a better name. And as you can see, little person out there is Juniper. She's out swimming in the sea. She's left her little leopard skin bikini on the shore because she likes to swim au natural, or in the buff, as some may say. So I'm thinking my Juniper is a wild woman adventurer who seeks remote, off-the-beaten-track places she can go to relax, drink from her leopard skin teacup, and be entirely herself. No apologies, no questions asked. Continuing on, we have 2 more pieces of artwork to share. First is my artist friend Catherine, who joins me weekly for these Story to Art challenges, and this is her story and art for the week. The title is Contemplating Tea Leaves. Juniper sat drinking green tea on the lanai of her cliffside home off the coast of Hawaii. She wondered about her future in this place. She had considered moving to Tunisia, where her distant ancestors were from. Legend has it that her great-great-grandmother had the ability to read tea leaves. Without thinking, she glanced into her teacup, and her cup runneth over. The tea had settled into a pattern so obvious that she knew she was already home. And finally, we have a piece by a special guest who has traveled from afar. Denise somewhat reluctantly agreed to participate in this week's episode because, as she claims, she is not an artist. But seriously, if this piece were hanging in a high-end art gallery, no one would question its validity as fine art. The colors, the composition, it has all the ingredients. And the title, Ass Over Teacup. And the very short story behind this artwork is, imagine Juniper's astonishment when she found herself falling ass over teacup off the cliff. And if you'd like to keep going, the playlist is right here waiting for you. See you in the next one.